Greetings, my name is Lil Noodle Boy, and I'm here with a review of the new long-awaited Kanye West album, Donda. Donda is an album promised by Kanye West back in July of 2020 after the scrapping of God's Country. This album is named after Kanye's deceased mother, who indeed meant a lot to Kanye. When the album failed to release in July, Kanye spent his time focusing on his presidential campaign, which he would inevitably go on to lose. Kanye West since then had been limiting his public appearances, and the only major news about him after November 2020 would be his divorce with Kim Kardashian. However, in July of 2021, he would make a return to music and spontaneously list a Donda listening event for July 23rd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. During the event, he would show up late and play unfinished versions of songs that would be on the album. It was very clear that the album would not drop that day, and it did not. Kanye since then had been living in the stadium, working on the album with collaborators, and scheduled another listening event at the same stadium for August 6th with a live stream from Apple Music. And extravagant symbolism and demonstrations of performance art, such as Kanye floating hundreds of feet above the ground. The album sounded much better this time around, actually sounding like a finished project that could be released without issue. It, it didn't release then either. The third and final listening event will be held in Soldier Field, Chicago on August 26. This time, Kanye had rebuilt his childhood home in the middle of the stadium and invited multiple people, such as the controversial Marilyn Manson, to be on the porch with him. The event had numerous improvements to the song since Listening Party 2 and even a new track, but it also raised many concerns due to the removal of key features like Jay-Z and Kid Cudi. The event had a crazy ending that involved Kanye being lit on fire and reuniting with Kim Kardashian while she was in a wedding dress. The album did not immediately drop after this event, but the album was released in the morning of Sunday on August 29th, to everybody's surprise. It was missing Jail Part 2 due to an apparent issue with clearing the baby's verse, but was uploaded shortly after to complete the album. There are some moments I find to be questionable musically, such as the weird repetition of Donda in Donda Chant and the horrendously mixed Television remix, but I can still appreciate them in the context of the album because both of these tracks are tributes to Donda and Pop Smoke respectively. Other than that, every other track on the album is quite solid and many of them are extraordinary, a trait which is helped by the qualitative features on the album. Kanye has returned to his ability to bring out the best in his collaborators. The song Off the Grid features 5 Foreign, who raps like he's 2 months overdue on his rent, and Playboy Cardi, whose strained vocals add a bit of needed Satanism to this otherwise holy album, creating a spiritual successor to No More Parties in LA. The Weeknd, Shensia, and Don Toliver both deliver hooks that make the listener levitate off the ground in bliss. Every single feature on this album delivered, and there are very many features on this album from artists that you wouldn't expect, like West Side Gun and the fucking glob glob gob glob at the end of Remote Control, just for the meme. One of the things I appreciate the most about this album is the return of Hurricane, a song from the Yandhi era that some Kanye fans gave up on ever seeing in their lifetimes. Not only did we get an official release for Hurricane, but the addition of The Weeknd makes the song blessed. And as much as I hate to see Ant Clemens go, it was an improvement. Another aspect I appreciated was how Kanye's humor came back in full swing for this album. Lines like, I just took to God, that's my bestie. They playing soccer in my backyard. I think I see Messi. And the iconic, if I hit you with a WID, you better not hit me with a HEY. It better be like hi with a bunch of I's or hey with a bunch of Y's. The general goofiness of Kanye is something that we all needed back in our lives. On the other hand, the album was also serious in an endearing and heartbreaking way. The song Jesus Lord is a song that tackles tragedy and contains complex lyricism reminiscent of St. Pablo from The Life of Pablo. The song 24, which is an inspiring Kobe Bryant tribute that makes you feel like we are going to be okay. The song Come to Life is a goosebump giving song with beautiful instrumentation that reflects on Kanye's desire to live a new life and do things differently. There were a few tracks I didn't love as much as I wished I did, but they're still good. I'm not particularly fond of the hook on God Breathed, and I wish that No Child Left Behind at least had some reverb on the main section. A main verse or something else just to spice it up a little. But even the most questionable moments on the album were still pretty good and don't overshadow what makes the album great. There are so many good songs on this album, but there are indeed 27 of them, so I can't talk about every single one. Overall, Donda definitely lived up to my expectations and even exceeded them. This is a great reminder for me that Kanye is one of the greatest to ever do it. It's not the new College Dropout or the new Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but it is still fantastic. I am feeling a strong 8 to a light 9. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well when you sub, and yeah, that's it. Little Noodle Boy, Kanye West, Donda, forever.